The Manchester derby was a fascinating watch, with Ten Hag's Manchester United coming away with the win, but how did he do it? United were never going to be able to go toe-to-toe with City in terms of possession. You'd be foolish to think otherwise. It's just not possible to achieve it in such a short window of time. And as we saw in the Chelsea game in the league, City looked much more vulnerable in transition than in previous years. And this was Ten Hag's game plan: frustrate and restrict City's play in possession, win the ball and break by committing numbers forward. And people might compare this to a Solskjaer-esque performance, but the difference here is the defensive solidity shown by United, restricting City to only one shot on target in the entire game. I thought that out of possession, United were exceptional. The midfield three all operated with man-marking jobs on the City counterparts, with Casemiro on Bernardo Silva, Fred on De Bruyne and Eriksen on Rodri. But when the City midfield rotated and tried to combat this, the United players covered each other excellently. Erling Haaland was occupied by both centre-backs who would follow him when he attempted to drop deep. And this compact defensive structure really limited City's build-up. City really struggled to find players in central areas, so had to look into wide areas instead. The most effective way that City broke through the structure was through Cancelo, due to Bruno performing a dual pressing role on both the Portuguese and Nathan Ake. The City players would draw Fernandes inside before hitting Cancelo in wide areas. But after that move, City really struggled to progress any further. And this is where United deserve credit out of possession, because the work rates of players like Fernandes and Rashford were unreal. Rashford and Walker is always an interesting battle, and the United man's improved defensive work rate really helped him restricting the City fullback. The defensive performance from United forced so many turnovers, either with the narrow shape forcing City into misplaced passes, or the work rate of individuals. And in transition, United looked incredibly dangerous, especially in the first half, and this is probably why Ten Hag opted for Fernandes over Antony at the start, to provide another player alongside the likes of Eriksen who can find Rashford in space. In the second half, United's transitions were becoming less frequent, and City really began to take control of the game. The away side were reaching the final third a lot more easily, but United was still preventing them from breaking into the box. City were shifting the ball horizontally at a much faster pace, allowing them to push United further and further back. For the City opener, it's worked extremely well, with Fred, Rashford and Malacia switching markers. The movement from Walker and the third man run from De Bruyne cuts through United, and the Belgians' cross is unbelievably good to find Grealish. And this was an area that City had targeted on set pieces and open play crosses, looking to challenge Wan-Bissaka at the far post. But aside from that, Wan-Bissaka was exceptional, and he played a major part in the equaliser. His composure under pressure was a strong point of his all game, and it allowed him to find Casemiro beyond the City midfield. United had already bypassed 7 City players, and this was the game plan to a T. Have the ball, break through the forward press, and then attack at speed and in numbers. I'm not going to talk about whether or not Rashford interfered with play or not. I'd rather talk about how well the players executed Ten Hag's game plan in this scenario, with Fernandes, Rashford, Garnacho and Antony all making forward runs. The second goal comes from a similar pattern of play. United win possession and then take advantage of the City players who are still in advanced areas. The same 4 players make direct runs, and United are left in a 3v2 in the City half. Garnacho does brilliantly to turn past Ake and finds Rashford for the winner. United had committed 5 players forward, further highlighting how Ten Hag wanted to break in numbers. And it was an unreal win for United, a fantastic game plan from Ten Hag, and it was executed to perfection by the players.